So, what are the health benefits of fasting? Did you know that skipping meals could actually extend your life? Fasting might seem like a modern trend, but it's actually been around for centuries and is a big part of many cultures and religions. Basically, fasting means you stop eating all or certain kinds of food and drinks for a specific time. Most of the time, people fast for about 24 to 72 hours. Then there's intermittent fasting, which is kind of like a pattern where you alternate between eating and fasting. This can last from just a few hours to several days. Forget everything you think you know about fasting, because today we're going to explore 7 compelling, science-backed reasons why incorporating fasting into your routine could not only boost your metabolism, but also enhance your brain function, help in weight management, and even potentially add years to your life. Stick around to find out how you can harness these benefits and why so many are turning to this ancient practice revitalized by cutting-edge research. Also, at the end of this video, I'll share the most common types of fasting so you can figure out which type works for you and your lifestyle. Now, let's dive into 7 science-backed health benefits of fasting. Let's kick things off with benefit number 1. Fasting fights inflammation for better health. You know how inflammation is your body's way of fighting off infections. That's acute inflammation, and it's totally normal. But when inflammation sticks around long-term, it can really mess with your health. Chronic inflammation is linked to serious issues like heart disease, cancer, and rheumatoid arthritis. The good news is, some research shows that fasting can help bring down those inflammation levels and boost your overall health. For instance, a 2022 review looked at 18 studies and found that intermittent fasting can significantly lower C-reactive protein, which is a key marker of inflammation. And there's more. A small study found that people who practiced intermittent fasting for a year managed to reduce inflammation even better than others in a control group, and they also lowered some risk factors for heart disease. Moving on to number 2. Fasting could help control your blood sugar by reducing insulin resistance. A bunch of studies suggest that fasting might just be the trick to better blood sugar control, especially for those who might be on the verge of diabetes. Take a 2023 study, for example. It followed 209 people and found that intermittent fasting 3 days a week can amp up your insulin sensitivity. That's a big deal, because improving insulin sensitivity means your body gets better at using insulin to move glucose out of your bloodstream and into your cells more effectively. This is great because it helps stabilize your blood sugar levels, avoiding those spikes and crashes. Plus, a review in Nutrients Research 2022 pointed out that both intermittent fasting and time-restricted feeding could lower risk factors linked with metabolic syndrome. That's a cluster of conditions that up your chances of getting type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. All right, let's dive into number 3. Fasting might just give your brain a big boost and help fend off neurodegenerative disorders. Now, most of this research has been done on animals, but it's still pretty exciting. Studies from 2018 and 2021 have shown that fasting can be pretty great for your brain health. It seems to protect your brain and even boosts the creation of nerve cells, which can sharpen your cognitive functions. Plus, since fasting can reduce inflammation, it could also help keep neurodegenerative disorders at bay. There are several animal studies that suggest fasting could be a game changer in protecting against and even improving outcomes for nasty conditions like Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's. So even though we're still learning and need more research on humans, the findings so far are definitely promising. Here's what's next at number 4. Fasting might just be your heart's new best friend by improving your blood pressure, triglycerides, and cholesterol levels. Heart disease is a real heavyweight, topping the charts as the leading cause of death globally, with an estimated 19 million deaths in 2020 alone. Changing your diet and lifestyle is one of the top ways to cut down your risk. Now, slotting fasting into your daily routine could be a game changer for your heart health. There's some research backing this up too. One study showed that alternate day fasting managed to knock down total cholesterol and various other heart disease risk factors in overweight individuals, all compared to a control group. And there's more where that came from. Another review found that this type of fasting significantly reduced blood pressure and levels of blood triglycerides, total cholesterol, and LDL cholesterol. That's the bad kind. So yeah, fasting might just be a secret weapon for keeping your heart in tip-top shape. Moving on to number 5. Fasting could potentially help you live longer. There's quite a bit of exciting research, mostly on animals, that's showing some promising signs about fasting and increasing lifespan. For instance, a 2021 study took a closer look at how periodic fasting affects our gut. It turns out fasting can boost the diversity of good bacteria in your gut microbiome, including the Christensenella species, which are linked to living longer. The researchers also found an uptick in sirtuins. These are proteins that help regulate your metabolism and are connected to longevity too. A review from the same year, looking at older studies involving both humans and animals, came to a similar conclusion. Fasting might just help increase how long we live and delay the onset of diseases. But we've still got a ways to go. More studies are necessary to really understand how fasting impacts longevity and aging in humans, and to figure out which fasting methods are the most effective. All right, moving on to number 6. Fasting can ramp up your growth hormone secretion, which is super important for not just growth, but also your metabolism, weight loss, and muscle strength. Human growth hormone, or HGH, is this protein hormone that's really crucial for tons of your health aspects. It plays a big role in your metabolism, helps you lose weight, and supports muscle growth. The cool thing is, several studies have shown that fasting can naturally boost your HGH levels. There's this review article that points out fasting for about 37.5 hours can skyrocket your basal HGH concentrations by up to 10 times. Plus, it also slows down the rate at which your body clears HGH. So, not only do you get more HGH, but it sticks around longer to do its job. Pretty neat, right? Next, we have number 7. Fasting might help in cancer prevention and could even boost the effectiveness of chemotherapy. A review in the American Cancer Society journal suggests that intermittent fasting could be beneficial in both treating and preventing cancer under certain circumstances. It seems to slow down tumor growth and might reduce the toxicity associated with chemotherapy in some people. However, the experts do stress that more high-quality clinical trials are necessary. They recommend that if you're undergoing cancer treatment and considering intermittent fasting, it should ideally be done as part of a clinical trial, because in some situations, and with certain types of cancer, it could potentially backfire. There's also another review looking at lab and animal studies that indicates fasting could slow down tumor progression and ramp up the effectiveness of chemotherapy. While these findings are hopeful, we still need more research to fully understand how fasting might impact cancer development and treatment in humans. All right, so are you interested in trying out fasting? There are tons of different ways to fast, so it's pretty easy to find one that fits your lifestyle. Let me break down some types for you. 1. Water fasting. This is as simple as it sounds. Just water, nothing else, for a period of time. 2. Juice fasting. You stick to only drinking vegetable or fruit juice for a set time. 3. Intermittent fasting. This style involves restricting your eating to just a few hours a day or completely fasting for a day or two, then eating normally on other days. 4. Partial fasting. This method cuts out specific items like processed foods, animal products, or caffeine for a while. 5. Calorie restriction. This one involves cutting back on your calorie intake a few days each week. And there's more detail within these categories too. For example, with intermittent fasting, you can try something like alternate day fasting, where you eat every other day, or time-restricted feeding, which limits your eating to just a specific window each day. There's a lot of flexibility here to tailor it to what works best for you. Comment below if you've tried fasting before and what benefits you experienced. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and share it with someone who could benefit from these fasting insights. Catch you in the next video.